Alright, so today I'm just going to be starting a new project here in the shop. I have two small jobs before I can start on another one of my shells. This one here is a 69 Mustang Fastback, and I'm going to be doing the front clip on it. Shock tower assemblies, left and right, radiator support, possible torque boxes if I can save them, or I have new ones already to replace them. And I'm going to try and reuse the original floor supports because they seem to be in nice shape, but I won't know until I cut the torque box area out to see how bad the floor supports are. I'm just going to basically show you what I look for before I start cutting it apart, because first thing that I'm going to do is fire up my plasma cutter and just cut the front end of the car off right in front of the firewall, which would scare a lot of people, but I'll show you what I do beforehand a little bit to prepare for that drastic of a change and just cutting the front end off. So I'll show you quick what I look for before I start that. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is, as you can see, I set it up on this platform that I built. I'll do a separate video on that to explain really what that's for, but basically it's just a level surface. The floor in here has a drain in the center, so it's throwing off my measurements from the car points, like the front rail, rocker down to the ground is where I base all my measurements off of. So I build that platform to basically have a level surface to start all my measurements off of. So I set it up to a certain height that I have the car at, front and back, support it there on four corners. And then I'm going to I go over all my measurement points, and I'll take a measurement from the lip of this frame rail down to the ground, both sides, which should be even. This car was wrecked before. And that's part of the problem of why it's getting fixed. Someone replaced a bunch of these panels up front. You can see the aftermarket welds here. That panel was replaced. The radiator support was taken off and welded back on. And pretty much this whole side here, except from the frame rail, was replaced also. So that's the reason why I'm replacing the front end. So I'm taking my measurements off the rails down, which it is about almost a half an inch. It's a quarter inch to a half an inch off. Both sides are slightly different of where it should be. It's upward. So I measure from that point. I have cross measurements from points on the cowl out to, say, from this corner back to that corner. And opposite, I have cross measurements between apron to apron, all throughout, between the frame rails, different level heights of the frame rails from the floor supports in the front to the very back edge of them, center point of the frame rail down. And I have measurements from the side of the torque box to the corner of the frame rails. Just the more measurements that you take, the better. And the reason why I can know that this car is twisted just because of measurements that I've had off of prior 69, 70s that I've done throughout the years, where they're completely original, and just basing my measurements off of all the cars that I've measured over the years. Because every car I put up, I measure just to see if all of them are similar or how far they're off. And that tells me where my starting point's at. So first thing I'm going to do is take the plasma cutter, which I have a Hypotherm, I believe it's a 45 XP. Yeah, 45 XP. Can do, I think, up to an inch, which is way more than I need, but it blows right through this stuff. And I'll just blow right through this, down the aprons, down the frame rails, basically just to get the front end out of the way. And it makes it a lot easier to get to the spot welds that are holding the aprons onto the firewall and then down into the floor support. I'll cut this outer skin of the torque box completely off, so then I'll be able to see inside of there where the floor support meets the frame rail. So basically I'm just going to cut it off, get down into the floor supports, remove all of the front end metal away from the existing metal that I'm going to continue to use, like the firewall, floor supports, toe board areas. and then I'll build up from there. So just a starting point video. I'm not going to do this one through while I'm working on it. It's a lot of work to set up and move a camera, especially you're blowing sparks and the smoke and all that. So I'll just do throughout the process, basically each day progress reports, pretty much. Show you where I'm at, either at the start or the end of each day. So hopefully I'll have this one up by the end of the day, and then I'll have another one tomorrow or the next day, depending on what I'm working on. But this is pretty much the project that I have for right now. So and I have the rest of the car tarped off, as you can see, because it is painted. So I have some of that plastic masking sheeting underneath the welder's blanket there, just to protect all that stuff, because there is going to be sparks. And if you've ever ground down metal or blew sparks, you'll know that it sticks right in the glass. As soon as that happens, the glass is ruined, because you're not getting those back out of that glass. It just melts right into it. So that's day one of this 69 Fastback starting point. The guy brought it to me, tore apart, so I didn't have to do any of that, which saves some time. And it makes it nice and easy just to throw it up on the jack stands, level it out, and then start going from there. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. I'm going to be posting on here a lot, like I've said. I'll have this one up, and then I'll do another one the next day and the next day until this car is done. I may have a day missed in between, like I was saying, but you'll see this thing come back together pretty quickly. And I'll show you the tips along the way to help you possibly do this to your car or something similar to this car. And I'll do more of these in the future with different parts of the car. I'll do quarter panels, cowls, all kinds of stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.